Right, okay. In the last session, we had discussed about the different types of the biomes. I hope you all got clear idea about the biomes. The topic continuation we'll discuss now how the different habitats are forming in each biome. There we discussed about the how the biomes are forming in the environment. Now we'll discuss how in each biome different habitats are forming, because biome is a large area. In that large area we are observing many thousands of thousands of habitats. How these habitats are forming actually? Okay, now we can see regional means area, are local variations. Regional are local variations. Nothing but both are same. For example, if you take here, this is a one biome. In this biome, inside this biome, in a single biome, the regional or local variations in a single biome. This is a one single biome. In this biome, variations are happening or variations are takes place. These variations are leads to form a different habitats. Variations in what? Variations in temperature, variations in precipitation. Different variations are happening in a single biome. In a single biome, the variations are happening. It leads to a formation of different habitats. There, what we discussed in the last session, the variations are happening in a annual temperature, annual precipitation. These variations are responsible for the formation of different biomes in the world. In the complete environment or in complete globe, if you take our biosphere, you can take, their variations are happening in the annual temperature, annual precipitation, that may cause the formation of different biomes. But here, the variations are happening in each biome or in particular biome, that leads to formation of a different types of the habitats. Different types of the habitats. Okay, clear? Now, we'll see here what is meant by the habitat actually. Habitat is a place where the organism lives. Where the organisms are living, that place is called as a habitat. For example, our village is for us our habitat. For example, you are living in the one particular place. For example, Delhi. You are living in the Delhi. Delhi is your habitat. Your habitat. Where you are living, that place is considered as a habitat. Like as where the organism lives, that place we are considered as a habitat. Different organisms are living in the different areas or in different habitats. Okay, clear? Now we can see the organisms depend on their habitat. Why the organism is depends upon their habitat means for the purpose of food, for the purpose of water, for the purpose of shelter. For these three requirements, for these three needs, the organism is depends upon their habitat. We are also depends upon our habitat for the purpose of the food material, for the purpose of water, for the purpose of shelter. Okay, etc. Okay, for this purpose, mainly the organism is depends upon its own habitat. Clear? Now, on the planet of Earth, life not only exists in a favorable habitats, but also exist in extreme and harsh habitats. The reason is, for example, if you feel one particular, for example, if you take Bangalore is a good habitat. There we'll get the proper food material resource, as well as we'll get the proper amount of the water or proper amount of the shelter you are feeling. You are feeling the Bangalore is a good habitat. For example, Bangalore is a good habitat. Where the good habitat is there, obviously there the more number of species lives. Then obviously what happens when the more number of species are increases in a compatible habitat, then obviously competition is starting. That's what some of the lower organisms are even living in a harsh and extreme conditions. Not only lower organisms, even higher organisms also, based on their requirement of food or based on their requirements, they are living in different habitats, not only in the favorable habitats, but also organisms lives in the harsh and extreme habitats also. Okay, now you can take an example, some of the extreme habitats. That is, first one if you take Rajasthan desert. Rajasthan desert is a not compatible habitat or not a good habitat. The reason is no one can try to live in the Rajasthan desert. But in this area also we have seen some of the organisms like as a camels. Why the camels are living in this area means camels are presented only in the desert places. They are requiring high temperature. Then also they have ability to conserve the water. They have an ability to conserve the water for many days. That's what the organisms are present in the desert area. Here even if you see, competition is very less. That's what they are preferring. This habitat is for them compatible habitat. Now the next one, if you take rain-soaked Meghalaya forest. Always if you see, the Meghalaya forest is full of the rains. There also some of the organisms are living in the Meghalaya forest. Like as if you see deep ocean trenches. Deep ocean trenches means nothing but, for example, this is the ocean water. If you see deep ocean trenches means nothing but like this narrow way, or deep ocean trenches means narrow hole like way is presented in the ocean up to the bottom, or in the ocean trenches means nothing but from the margins like this deep trench is presented. Even in the deep ocean trenches, here also we are seeing the life. Some of the organisms may live in this area also, in these trenches also. Okay, clear? Deep ocean trenches. Here also we have seen some of the organisms. Clear? Next one, torrential streams. Torrential streams in the sense, always flow of water. Always in this place, turbulent flow of water we are seeing. For example, hill place is there. For example, this place. Always the water is moving from this area to this area turbulently. Even in this heavy flow of water, also some life we are observing. That is torrential streams. The streams means nothing but falls. Nothing but like some of the falls we are seeing, that falls area also some of the organisms we are seeing. There are always 24 hours the water is moving position only. In that moving water also we are observing some of the organisms. That's what torrential means. Turbulent movement of water. Streams means what? Streams movement of water and turbulent flow. It is turbulent movement of water. In these places also we have seen some of the organisms lives. And even if you take permafrost polar regions, polar areas are always covered with a ice. Always covered with a ice except few days. Except few days in a year. In a complete year, whole year, it is covered with a ice only. In that ice places also, some of the organisms we are observing. Okay, that is extreme habitat or harsh habitat for the organisms lives. Then also, we are observing some of the organisms lives in these places. Next one, high mountain regions. High mountain regions also harsh habitat for the organism. They will not get the proper amount of oxygen. Then also, many organisms are presented in this high mountains also. Some of the organisms lives in the high mountain region also. They will not get proper amount of food and proper amount of the oxygen. Then also some organisms may lives in that places. Next one, thermal springs. Already I told you that hydrothermal vents and thermal springs. These are having, actually thermal springs are having 60 to 80 degrees centigrade temperature. In this 80 degree centigrade temperature also, we are observing some of the bacteria, like especially in the archaebacteria, we are seen in these thermal springs. There also we are observing the life. Next one, compost pits. Compost pits means nothing but waste materials we are dumping at. Nothing but compost pits means dumping at. Whatever the house waste or municipal waste we are throwing in the places, we are calling it as a compost pits. In the compost pits also we are seeing some of the organisms like as a decomposers. Decomposers we are observing in these places. Decomposers lives in the compost pits. Even our intestine also suitable environment for the so many pathogens like as a Entamoeba histolytica, Plasmodium vivax. These are the malaria causing organisms or amoebiasis causing organisms or ascariasis causing organisms. So many organisms are lives in our body. They are taking our body as a comfortable habitat. They were getting all requirements from our body. Clear? These are the harsh and extreme habitats which are mentioned in our NCERT book. Even though in these habitats also we have seen some of the organisms. Okay, not only in the favorable habitats we have seen organisms, even in harsh and extreme condition habitats also we are observing the life. Clear? This is about the habitat. Right? Now, our concept, continuation of this concept we will discuss, that is ecological niche. Ecological niche means nothing but the term niche was first used by Grinnell. Grinnell in the year of 1917. The term niche was given by or used by Grinnell in the year of 1917. What is meant by the niche actually? It is defined as functional role. It is defined as functional role of an organism. Functional role of an organism. Functional role of an organism means, for suppose if you take this is a one area. In this area, or else if you take this is a habitat, one habitat if you take, in this habitat we have seen niche. Four niches we have seen. Four types of the organisms are present in the four types of the niches. All the organisms are not present in a same niche. For example, similar organisms are not existing in the same niche. They may present in the same habitat, but they may not. They can't exist in the same niche. The reason is they are depends upon the same type of food materials. Their competition occurs. That's what same type of two organisms cannot exist in the same niche. Now we can see here it is defined as functional role of an organism as in its environment. What is the functional role of an organism in its environment? That is nothing but as a niche. Why they are functioning in the environment? To get their needs. Needs means nothing but for the food material and to undergo to survive and to undergo reproduction. For their needs, they are doing some work in the environment. That work is nothing but as a niche. In one habitat may having the many niches. One habitat may have the so many niches. For example, one forest habitat if you take. In the forest habitat, many niches we are observing. Some of the organisms may live in the grass. Some organisms may seen in on the top of the trees. Some organisms may seen in the scrubs and herbs. We are seeing different type of the levels in different type of the organisms. Clear? Now we can see one more time. I tell you that niche is a functional role of an organism. Why they are functioning in the organism in its environment? The reason is to get their needs. What needs they require? They need to survive. They need to reproduce. They need to survive and they need to reproduce in its environment. That's what whatever the functions they are performing in its environment, that functions is nothing but as a niche. The functions is nothing but as a niche. Clear? Okay, niche is nothing but as a functional role of an organism in its environment, and how it is meet its needs and its survival and its reproduction Now we can see a species niche includes one species niche includes all of its interactions with its biotic as well as abiotic factors. One species, for example, one species present in a environment, they may interact with the abiotic components as well as to the biotic components to get their needs, to meet their needs, to interact with the abiotic components as well as to the biotic components. Clear? Then only they can survive. For example, if you take here one simple example that I will tell you. One honeybee you can take. The honeybee is one of the species. The honeybee is present in a particular niche. Those honeybees, how it is interacting with the flower of the plant, as well as it also interacting with the water. Okay, water is a abiotic factor and flower is a biotic factor. Here the honeybee is interacting with the flower as well as with water. These two, flower we are considering as under the category of biotic. Here plant biotic, it is water abiotic. Okay, one species present in a one particular niche of the environment, it interacting with the biotic components, it will interact even with the abiotic factor to get or to survive and to reproduce. Like as any organism you can take in the nature, it will interact with the biotic components as well as with the abiotic components. Clear? Now you can see, according to E.P. Odom, habitat is a address of an organism. Niche is a profession of an organism. Niche is a profession of an organism. It means habitat is a place where the organism is living. But niche is a role of an organism. What organism is doing? For example, myself, if you take, I am living in a particular place, that is, I am living in a Atheni. Atheni is my habitat. Okay. Then I am working in a Banajawad college. I am teaching biology. This is my profession. My profession is my niche. My living address is my habitat. Where I am living is a habitat. What I am doing is a niche. What I am doing? I am working as a teacher in a particular place. That is my niche. Where I am living in a Atheni. Atheni is my habitat. Clear? Now are you getting clear idea about this? Okay. Now you can see that habitat is the differences I will tell you that. Habitat is a place where the organisms will live. Okay, in an environment. And niche is a role of an organism. What role it plays or the what way it gets its needs. It meets its needs, or how it is going to be survive in the nature. What it is doing for the purpose of survival and reproduction. That work is considered as a niche. The place where it is lives is called as a habitat. The place of living is habitat. What is doing in that place is nothing but niche. Clear? Are you getting an idea? Okay. Now we can see, we'll discuss now differences between the habitat and niche. Okay. Now till now we discussed about the what is habitat, what is niche. Clear? Now we'll discuss the differences between the habitat and niche. Then we'll get clear idea about the habitat and niche. Now you can see habitat is a specific physical space or place occupied by an organism or species. Okay, the species occupying area or the space we are call it as a habitat. But if you see the niche, a functional space occupied by an organism in the same habitat. It means now we can see the clear. Now you can observe clearly. For example, if you take here, this is a one tree. Okay, this tree. This is one tree. If you take there, this is one tree. Now, in this tree is a habitat. It is a tree. We are consider this one as a habitat for many birds. Many birds. Now we can see the species. The species habitat is, the bird habitat is tree. This is habitat. Here you can observe it. Some of the birds are presented here or lives here occupying this area. For example, if you take a bird, if you take here B bird, if you take here C bird. Now all these three variety of birds are present on the same tree. The trees we are considered as a habitat. But here, if you noticing, if you observe clearly, a bird is occupying the top region of the tree. Top region of the tree, or top part of the tree. They will live here only. They will take their food materials. They will do whatever they want. All the functional role they will place in this particular region only. Okay, this is the A habitat niche. A habitat niche. Niche of A birds. Niche of the A birds. And similarly, if you see, this is the region. This is the region. It is a niche of B birds. Niche of B birds. And this is the place, niche of C birds. This is the niche of the C birds. Now, same tree but in three parts. Part 1 is niche for the A birds, part 2 is niche for the B birds, part 3 is niche for the C birds, because C birds are occupying this area to get their food materials, to do their work, to reproduce, to survive. They selected this area. They will live only in this particular place. B birds are selected this place. They will live in this place only. A birds are selected this place. They live only in this place. Now you can see this is the habitat for the three variety of birds. But here if you notice, different birds are having, different variety of birds are having different niches. Different niches. Habitat is same, but niches are different. Now we can see it is a habitat is a physical place of an organism where it lives. This tree is a habitat for the birds. But niche is a particular place where it performs its functions. That place is called as a niche. Okay. So similarly, I told you that Athini is my habitat. Along with me, so many members of faculty is there in the Athini. But I am working in Banajawad PU College as a teacher. This Banajawad PU College is my occupational address. My occupational address or my professional address. Where I am working in Banajawad PU College. This is my niche. And different remaining faculties, some members may be working in the JA college, some members may be working in the Terdal college, some members may be working in the different SMS college, some other colleges. Okay, they are also working as a teacher but in different colleges. Different college, their professional duty is in the different area. My professional duty in the different area. We are all lives in Athene. Our habitat is similar, but our occupational profession is different. For example, along with me, 10 members are there in Athene only we are living. We are all 10 members. 10 members. In these 10 members, I am working as a teacher in Banajawad college, for example. This is my professional address. My address, my own, the 10 members address is Athene is a address of these 10 peoples. These 10 peoples along with me. But my professional address is Banajawad PU college. This is my professional address. Where I am working? In Banajawad college I am working. Remaining 10 members, if you see, some members are working in Karnataka Bank. Some members are working in market. Some members are working in software office. Okay, these different places they are working. There one member working professional is in as a bank officer. Some members working profession is market, a business person. Some members are working in software field. Their profession is, these 3 members profession is different from my profession. But all are living in a Athene. Athene is my habitat. My living, my occupation is different. My working role is different. One person working in one role, or one person is playing in one role in the same habitat in Athene. That's what my working role is, my niche, my living place is my habitat. Here also the tree is a habitat for the birds, and different birds are living in a different, occupying different region to place their role. That's what the role of the organisms is niche, and place where they are living is called as a habitat. Now we can see same habitat may share by many organisms, because in Athene we 10 members are living, same habitat we are sharing. Okay, but here single niche occupied by a single species. Here also we see A birds are occupying only in the top place, only A birds, and B birds are occupying in the middle place of the tree, only B birds, and bottom of the tree is occupied by only C birds. Okay, one variety of birds are occupying one place in the same habitat. Now the next one, habitat specificity is exhibited by an organisms. Habitat specificity exhibited by organism. My native place is Athene. That's what I prefer to live in Athene only. Okay, but you can see organisms may be change their niche with the time and season. For example, I told you that if I am not getting proper salary or proper requirements for me, I am not satisfying in this college, for example, I will go to another college, or else I will leave this job and I will join in bank as a bank operator. The last point, one more time I will tell you that. You can see habitat specificity is exhibited by organisms. Organisms may live in the same habitat. Okay, but organisms may change their niche according to time and season. But if you see here, for sometimes, for example, this is the habitat. I told you that this tree is habitat for these 3 variety of birds. For suppose this area is getting damaged due to some environmental factors. This top area is getting damaged, and where these A birds lives, then where they will get their needs, where they will place their role, they may come to the B region. They may exist in the B region. Sir, you told that same type of organisms will not present in a same niche. For sometimes they may share the same area to do the both work. Means the two variety of birds are share the same area to get their food materials. Okay, some cases, not all the times, sometimes it may happens. If they are losing their niche, they will come to the another niche according to the time and seasons. Based on the time and seasons, the seasons are changing, they may not get the proper amount of food. When they will not get the proper amount of food, they may changing their niche, but they will not change the entire habitat until destroying this habitat.